Hey there everyone, Luke here, and I'm very sorry. I know this review has been completely delayed for the last few days, but it's down to a few things. Me being tired, doing a lot of Pokemon MMO on Twitch with Ann Arbor from Control Chaos, and also Son Getsu has been joining us at times. So come and find us on Twitch. We're going through all the regions of Pokemon through Kanto, Hoenn, Sinnoh and Unova, and hopefully Johto will be added in at some point. So yeah, come and find us on Twitch, the Control Chaos channel. You'll find it on the Control Chaos Twitter, and if you want to join Discord, the link is on my Twitter. But yeah, primarily it was my brother's birthday. Well, both my brothers, because they're twins, so it was their birthday on Monday. And on Sunday we were out, so that was what I was doing now. So it was all that. So had to get that out of the way now. In terms of moving forward, I know that in a couple of weeks, so not next week, well, not this week, but next week we have a double chapter. Or double issue, and then the week after we are on break. So hopefully the week after that, so like in 3 weeks time, 3 weeks time, we will possibly do something else differently. It might be doing some more progression series or watching some more Power Rangers. But yeah, anyway, that's all for later. And also, when we get back after the break, there'll be no chapter, there'll be no review for that chapter, because until at least the Saturday of the following week, because I am going to be going away. Yeah, I'm going on a canal trip with my family. So well, it's one of my brothers, my mum, and a couple of her friends. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. So you won't see one of the chapters until either the Friday or the Saturday of that week. Maybe I might do it as a double chapter, who knows, but this introduction has gone way too long, so let's just get right into the chapter. Alright, so this will be chapter 186, titled 7,000 Miles to Visit Nanano. Just rolls right off its tongue. But yeah, first we're going to get out of the way. We all love world building, and we're finally getting some world building in this chapter. We're finally moving out of Japan, going around. Fingers crossed that they do a much better job than they did in Dr. Stone. No offense to Dr. Stone, but your glow-tropping really was lacking, and we wanted more locations. But anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, we're going into different locations in this chapter, which is something I've been wanting for a long time. And Pyjam's even said it amazingly well. It's like, well, this arc might be going on a little longer. Well, they might separate this as a different arc. I'll have to check the wiki. But yeah, a lot of people, again, thought that Mission Yozakura was going to be cancelled. Yeah, right, after this. Like, okay, seriously, at this point, who thinks who thinks Mission Yozakura is going to get cancelled? I mean, seriously, it's the 4th longest running in Jump right now. Think about that. It's behind Black Clover, My Hero, and One Piece. So it's in the top 5 for the longest running shonen. So why would they cancel it? Especially when we've got Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh no, it might be the 5th longest running, because I think Jujutsu Kaisen is longer than it. Oh, right, yeah, it might be. But anyway, yeah, we've got Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, and Black Clover, and One Piece. They're all on the fan arc, so why would they want to get rid of Mission Yozakura? Why? They would want something that's at least been running for quite some time to kind of fill the void for everyone. But anyway, it starts off with from the ending of the last chapter, where we have Nanano reiterates to Creature that he can't come back to the family, so he's going to be like, yeah, I can't come back, so see ya, Creature. And immediately you just get Creature with this like just glum expression of just like, oh, he's not coming back. And then you immediately cut to Fruitsbell bringing in some tea for Koricho, and he's just in the corner just being like, ooh, and just having the like blank white stare, like whenever he gets crapped on by his family. He's just in that state of like, I don't want to have some tea anymore. I don't want this tea, even though he probably wants the tea. And Fruitsbell's just there like, oh, I get it. Nanano said he's not coming home, so that's why you're upset and everything. You know, he gets standoffish when he's absorbed in his research. He'll come back to us in his own time, but Creature's having none of that. He's like, but no, Nano being that cruel to me. He's one of the nicer ones to me. I mean, I've got this giant chart here of everyone who's from everyone who is cruel to me to the one who's least cruel to me, and as you can see from this chart, it's kind of hilarious. Scale of meanness to Karicho, which Futaba even points out. It's like, yeah, you actually made that scale. That's creepy. But anyway, it's kind of hilarious because you have going in this order. So you have Shion, Futaba. No, wait, this is confusing here. No, I get. Alright, so we have Mutsumi, Futaba, Shion, Keigo, Shinzo, and then Nano. It's like, where was Keigo even mean to Koricho? Like, seriously, explain it to me. I feel like Shinzo was more mean to Koricho at times, but anyway, I digress. That's just hilarious. Like, he's like, I have this scale chart of everyone who's mean to me. Nano's the one who's the least mean to me, and yet all of a sudden he can't come back to me. Like, what's going on, Futaba? Something must have happened to him. I've got my senses on. My big brother senses are tingling. Something's going on. I have to go after him right now. And then Futaba's just like, dude, he's 20 years old now. He can take care of himself. If he's got a reason for being there, I'm sure he's got a reason for being there. And yeah, it doesn't seem like it's anything to do with Asa, like I mentioned in the last review. But I still like to maintain that it might be a different group of antagonists, considering this arc of getting the stamps and this saga at this point of getting all the stamps might go on for way longer. Although there is a twist in this chapter that I did not expect coming. Like, seriously, this chapter threw me for a loop. But yeah, he's like, Karicho's like, I don't care if he's 20 years old, I don't care if he's 50 years old, 70 years old. Mind you, if he's 70 years old, Karicho will probably be 8. No, wait, because he's 8 years older than. No, so he would be like 78. He'd be Garp's age in One Piece. But yeah, anyway, he's like, I don't care what's going on with him. If he's kidnapped or anything's happening to him, I'm going to go and rescue him right now. And as Futaba and Karicho are having this conversation, we have Hifumi over here, I think, and she's getting a great, she's getting an idea in her head before we cut to Karicho on a cruise ship where he starts rearranging in his mind about what's actually going on, what's his quote unquote mission for himself right now. As he says, what we currently know is that Nanano went to Dr. Mozo's lab 5 years ago, and I have a very good idea of where her lab is, which this is kind of fascinating because everyone is, well, okay, never assume someone's gender here, but everyone was under the impression that Dr. Mozu was a guy, but now Karicho confirms this chapter. No, Mozu is a she. So yeah, just had to get that out of the way. Now let's move on. Let's not dwell on that. But aside from the point, it's under the Antarctic Ocean, so this gives the chance, and it gives, given the multiple barriers set up there to take advantage of the territory, such as radar system and the weather. The only way to reach it is through a special route via transit through Europe. So basically, first point of call is, as we've been in chapter, is Paris. So I imagine that the route is going to be, okay, we've got to get through Paris, then we've got to go through the English Channel, get to England, then get to Scotland, then get a flight over to Iceland, and then get a flight from Iceland to the Antarctic, or maybe from Scotland or somewhere in England to Norway, to Finland, and to Nordic countries, or maybe it'll be Iceland, then the Nordic countries, then to the Antarctic. But seriously, I want redemption and pie jams. You knew probably had a pretty good idea of what I was going to be bringing up here. Of like, since it's a transit route through Europe, we've got to go through England. We have to see British assassins here. Like, you knew that you probably had an idea, or even if you did, when you read the shots, it's like I'm pretty sure, although I can't assume, I apologise if I'm just assuming here, but you probably had an inkling that I was going to mention this in conjunction to Dr. Stone, because I thought in Dr. Stone they would actually go to England to get coal for the rocket. But yeah, anyway, point is, we're going through a European trip here with Karicho, and somebody else right now, as he's immediately just recognises that you have this big, giant, massive trench coat, fedora hat, and glasses sitting right next to Karicho as he's on a plane. He's just like, I wonder who that could. I wonder who that could be. Oh, what a surprise! It's my niece and nephew. As he flicks off the coin, he's like, "Yeah, why did you two follow me here?" And they're just flabbergasted, like, "How did he know? Like, this was the perfect this was the perfect disguise." And of course, Alpha is immediately like, "No, Uncle Karicho, it's not like it was Hilfiger's idea. She had the whole idea." And Hilfiger was just like, "How did you actually know that it was us? It was the perfect disguise. Not even our own mother and father could have fallen for it, although I guarantee Tayo and Mutsumi probably would have fallen for it as well." And Creature's like, "Huh, you wouldn't think I would have noticed. The sound of your breathing, your chewing was clear as day to me, and yet this is where they should have been getting signs of, like, yeah, Uncle Karicho has been creepy once again." But of course, Hirofumi is obviously on the case about what she wants from this. So she's like, "Oh, you're gonna go see Uncle Nanano? Great, that's perfect. We can finally get his stamp as well. So we're coming too. And is that all right?" And Karicho's just like, "Oh, is that so? Wait." And Hirofumi's like, yeah, it's all right. We've already got stamps from Auntie Shion and Uncle Keigo. Getting one from Auntie Futaba is probably going to be hard. And Mama and Papa, they said they're last. Although out of the siblings, I automatically assume because Karicho's the oldest, he would have been the last and therefore the hardest. But yeah, it makes sense that we'll get Nanano's out of the way. But like I said, something coming up in the chapter did not expect, which goes to show like how long this arc is actually going to go for, when we haven't even got Shinzo back into the picture. Like, how long has it been since we started this arc? Like 10 chapters. But you figure right now we would have Shinzo back, but that just goes to show like what kind of task is he gonna have for the kids. Hirofumi is continuing going on like, "Oh, so we decided we get the stamps from you and Uncle Nanano next." And Karicho's like, "Oh, I see." But of course, in his mind, he's like, "No, that's not really what you want. You obviously want something else. I can tell by the way you're acting here." And sure enough, Alpha mentions like, "Wait a second, didn't you say you were bored of studying, so you went to sneak after Uncle?" But she just shuts Alpha up at that point. "No, that's not what we were doing, Alpha. Ignore him." And this is where we get like one of the creepiest things that Karicho has ever done in the series, as we have a ringtone going, "My favourite big brother, you have a phone call. Coolest big brother in the world, you have a phone call from me." And they sure enough, Alpha and Hirofumi pick up like, "Wait a second, that is Mama's voice." Yes, as you heard there, Karicho spliced together things that Mutsumi would never say and have it as his ringtone. Okay, Karicho, you become a badass in recent years, but that is still one of the creepiest things you've ever done in the whole series, and that is saying a lot. But yeah, he starts to take the phone call, and he's saying to Mutsumi like, "I'm glad all the kids they follow me, but it's all right. I've taken them with me. I'm sorry I didn't mention it sooner. They're 4 years old already. There's nothing wrong with letting them go on a field trip. As long as they're with family, it's all okay. And I'm not concerned." And Mutsumi on the phone says, "Oh, I'm not concerned about them." But yeah, you have Ayaka and I just be like, "We just got them back and all of a sudden they're gone again? What are these kids?" Like, I love that. It's the fact that, oh, we've just got back Tayo, Mutsumi, I, and Ayaka in the last chapter, and now we're like, no, we're still not focusing on them. We're going to be focusing on the twins. So, bye. See you guys later. It's just like, I and Ayaka are pretty much giving the reaction of the audience now. Like, we just got them back, and now all of a sudden they're leaving again. So, Karicho continues on with his conversation with Mutsumi, as Mutsumi says, "Oh, but what's worrying me, Karicho, is that they're alone with you. You of all people." And Karicho's just like, what are you talking about? We're going on a little family bonding vacation. Yeah, do not have Karicho saying the words bonding and vacation. Do not have him saying that, especially considering he has Steel Spider and what he's put Tayo through. But yeah, he goes on and says, "Alone, just the three of us. We're going to have so much fun together," as we see him getting like really creepy here. And his aura is just emanating from it. And the second this oil comes up, that Hiyofumi and Alpha are just like, yeah, book it, we're booking it, we're booking it. We're not. This is all your fault, Hiyofumi. This is all your fault, Alpha. We knew what Uncle Courageous was like, and yet we still decided to go. I thought if we talked to him this time, we could be normal friends and everything. They're just getting all their thoughts out of the way about how they feel about Uncle Creature, and they're just like, yeah, we're booking it, out of there. We're gonna get out of it. We had, but no, it didn't work. We can't even stand being near him. And Alpha is just realising, yeah, we're maybe booking it out of here, but we have nowhere to escape to because we're on a plane here. Where are we actually gonna go at this point? As we have Hiyofumi. Okay, from what I understand here, she uses her yo-yo to what does she do here? Okay, yeah, she uses her yo-yo, spins it around, flicks it up in the air, and from what I can tell, like, she flicks both her and Alpha out of the plane from the top. Like, okay. Oh no! Oh no! What? No, wait! What does she do here? Okay, so she has Alpha's watch make a parachute. Oh no! Wait! I think I know. Oh no! What? Okay, I am so blind here. Okay, so maybe it's because I'm just getting so excited about this chapter. So we have Hiyofumi. We have Hiyofumi asking Alpha, "Can your watch make a parachute?" And he's just like, "It can," but before he can even get the statistics out, we see Hiyofumi spinning a yo-yo, making a hole in the plane and watching them just blast out here. But before they can do, we have Koricho going in after them and grabbing them. Well, when I say going after them, I mean going into the sky after them, grabbing them, as he says, "Oh, you two precious little scams, it wasn't long until we landed, you know. The air up here is thin, you need to be careful. Now, Alpha, anchor our bodies together, my friends will catch the wind." And sure enough, he uses spiderweb to catch the parachute, which of course has Mutsumi's image on it. And Koricho explains, "This is for your own safety. Mutsumi says she couldn't take you too far from home. Now it's likely our research in the Arctic Ocean. To get there, we'll land in Paris and take the overland route to Northern Europe." Oh no, okay, so they're not going to England. So they're going through Northern Europe, so they're going through Paris, through Luxembourg, I think. I think that's Luxembourg next to, because I know Luxembourg is near that immediate area. Through Germany, going through Finland, and I have to look back at them. God, me and my geography. It's at times like this that I really wish I had geography powers. But yeah, let me have a look at that. So they're going through. Let me have a look at this route quickly. So Paris map. Okay, so I've kind of tried it on the map here. I apologise for cutting off there, but I've tried it on the map. So it seems like they're going through Belgium, Germany, because it does show Luxembourg down there. So they're going through from Paris through to Belgium, Germany, Finland, not Finland, Denmark, and then through to Sweden and Norway, and then through to the Arctic Ocean. So that seems to be the route that they're actually taking. So Paris, Belgium, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and then the Arctic Ocean. So maybe if they get to Denmark, they might actually see production of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, although the kids would probably fall asleep in it. But yeah, that seems to be the route that they're actually taking, so they're not going to England. Although the twists and turns of this series, they could actually take a detour to England. Fingers crossed, Luke. But anyway, that's the initial route that they're going to be taking. And he says, to get there, they'll land in Paris. Yeah, to get there, they'll land in Paris to take the overland. This seems like a good opportunity for him, and why does for him to come along. So he said. So Creature says, "This seems like a good opportunity to me. Come along. Why don't you learn about the wide world while we go for and getting our own stops through?" So actually, despite his creepiness, Koricho is actually being reasonable here. It's like Hirofumi and Alpha, they've never been out of Japan before. This is probably the first time that they've actually taken an international trip, so for them to actually do this, it actually gets good experience for them for when it because I'm pretty sure Alpha will become a spy by the end of the series, along with Hirofumi, and so this will give them good experience to actually get out there in the world, explore what different other assassins and spies are, and plus it'll be good for us as the audience as well to learn exactly about how the different spies and assassins in the world operate outside of Japan, because we don't really get much of that in many series as well. It's usually focused on just the country that they're in, and then and then we might get snippets of what the other countries of the world are like, but the fact that they're taking this like tour of Europe to find out exactly how the European spies operate really helps us solidify Mission Yozakura and how well it will do its world building and introduce new characters into the series and new cultures and ideas as well. So yeah, they arrive in Paris, because you can see the Eiffel Tower there on this really glorious page. As he says, let's set out on your first Yozakura family field trip. So I guess this is the family field trip arc, separate from the Academy arc. Let me know if that's a thing on the wiki, or I'll probably look it up after doing this review. As we see, just Alpha and Hirofumi just being like wowed by the sheer vastness of France and just how big it is. Like this is probably like the biggest country, because I imagine is France bigger than Japan? I assume it is. Yeah, from the geography, I assume it's bigger than Japan. So just to see a bigger country than their own, that probably blows their mind. So after arriving in Paris, they land directly behind or directly in front of the Notre Dame Cathedral. So let's just hope that there's no hunchbacks are going to come out and no psychotic priests / judges, and let's hope that Koricho doesn't have an accident which causes Notre Dame to be burnt like it was in real life. Oh, too soon. No. I was like thinking like, oh my god, Koricho's going to do something that's going to cause a similar incident to what happened a few years ago when Notre Dame did get burned. But anyway, he says, this sure brings back memories. My parents brought me here often, and even though Ri and Momo are mentioned here, Hirofumi and Alpha are just being like, wow, it's so big, not even focusing on the fact like, wait a second, your parents, so our grandparents? Like, what were they like? Like, I am waiting for the moment, like, if Momo is still alive, he meets Hirofumi and Alpha because they're his grandkids. And also as well, what about Ban and his wife? What's happening to them? Like, obviously, Hirofumi and Alpha are their great grandkids, so it'll be interesting to see if they come back if Ban comes back into the series to be the great grandpa. But yeah, this is where we learn that Hirofumi and Alpha have actually learned French. More so Alpha than I think Hirofumi, because Hirofumi gets almost gets swindled by this guy before Alpha's like, don't touch it here for me. He wants you to buy it for a ridiculous price. And Koricho's just like, oh, you've learned French, Alpha. I'm very impressed. As he goes on and says, oh, it's the basics of preliminary delicate anyway. And Koricho's just like, now then, though, important. This is still a class. You're still at school, and this is still a field trip. So we've got to get down to business here. And you ought to get some kind of reward as credit. But he's like, how about this? How about this? When we complete this field trip, I'll give you my stamp. This was the thing that I was waiting for in the shot, and this image of Koricho is actually going to be the thumbnail for the video, because it went away. I was not expecting. I was honestly expecting it to be like, okay, they got the silver rank stamps. Now they're going for the gold rank stamps, which would be Shinso, Futaba, and Koricho. I assume Koricho will be the last one to get the stamp, but the fact that he's given it here just shows how much it pretty much shows how much faith Koricho has in the twins in completing this mission. So credit where credit is due, Koricho seeing their potential right here, and yeah, even they're a bit like surprised, like, wow, I didn't think Uncle Koricho would go this far. As he says, oh, the stamp cards were originally my suggestion. Its main purpose was to convince your reluctant mama and papa to let you join the mission, because yeah, even though the young Koricho, like I said, Koricho sees the potential in these two and sees what they are capable of. And it's like, if we can get them on board, they'd probably be a very far better into taking down Asa as a whole. He goes on and mentions that he believes the more beloved the child, the more you should send them out in the world. And when you finish this trip, you have 2 more stamps, mine and Nanano's. And I'd say that's a good deal, wouldn't you? Yeah, pretty good deal. So all they have to do is just get through this field trip, get Nano's stamp, and then they get Koricho's. And Koricho, despite the fact of how sneaky he could be, he wouldn't. I doubt he. It's very unlike him to actually lie to the family. Especially when especially the family that he absolutely adores. So yeah, I imagine that he is going to give them his stamp. And he says, "Why are you looking so shocked? I thought you'd be happy to hear that." But they're not. They're not shocked that he didn't. They're not shocked about the fact that he's going to give them the stamp. They're shocked about the fact that they expected something far more creepier than just like, oh, I'll give you your stamps, right? And Hifumi immediately goes to like making us kiss you on the cheek to get the stamp, and Koricho is just like, oh, I did actually think about that, of course. And Alpha's just like, you did? But Koricho's just like, but I won't take advantage of your passion and your dedication to reach your goal. I believe that love should be pure and unforced. So I'll be patient and enjoy this field trip together, and I'll get the kiss later from you two. As his aura continues to sped up again. And he's like, wait you so patiently for that moment when you come to me. And at this point, Alpha is just teaching Hifumi some French here, where she's like, I am not even going to pronounce what is said in this panel, but basically she's saying in French, please help me. There is a pervert here. And Alpha is just like, okay, repeat that louder. Whilst those officers are over there behind Uncle Koricho, and Koricho's just like, no, don't be saying that, don't be saying that. I'll do anything. Let's start class, shall we? There's today's theme is investigation. From Paris, we go north to Mozu's research lab, but Mozu is secretive. To find the correct path, we must first find the guides she's stationed in each region, and this is where we get like the different path of guides that are going to lead directly to Mozu. Which I imagine this family trip arc might take like a dozen or so chapters to get through. As he mentions, there are multiple guides, and each knows only one of the 7 routes. If we find them, they'll take us to Mozu's lab where Nano awaits. The plane we were on provides one such guide, but once we abandon it, there's no going back. We must find a new guide here in Paris and take a new route. That is your first assignment. So first assignment, finding a path to actually get to Mozu's lab, and then sorting out everything out after that. But Alpha is just like, wait, what are some distinguishing features? And Koricho says, as they can be found all across the world, they could be anyone, male, young, male, female, young, old. They could even be. But then he's like, no, I've given you way too many hints. So now class is in session. Be careful, all right. This isn't the school, you know. It isn't even the country you're born in. You have to be more alert here. Traps could be set up at any point to catch you guys out, and there's no telling what we'll find out there. So it's the field trip for 2 stamps starts now, and immediately as soon as it starts, they're walking down the road, and Hilfer's like, oh, I want a candle, and Alpha's like, what are you distracting already? And as we cut back to Mutsumi and Tayo petting Ai and Aika, and they're just like, and Mutsumi's like, wait, they went skydiving, as Alpha, as Ai and Hifumi, and not Ai and Ayaka, we get a caption that says they warned themselves off for crying, and that's where chapter ends. So, wow, that was a lot to unpack in that chapter. New location, new goal, possibly new enemies coming up. Now, like I said, I feel like this arc will probably go on for a dozen or so chapters. Might even take us to the end of the year at this rate. Oh my god, that might actually be how we end the year, with them getting the 2 stamps, the stamps from Nano and the stamps from Koricho. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how we end the year, because that would take us directly past 200. So to end the year on Koricho and Nano giving Alpha and Hifumi 2 more stamps, I feel like that will be a perfect way to end the year. But I have no idea what's coming up in the next few chapters. And like I said, we got next week's chapter, Then the weeks after chapter, then we've got a break, and then the chapter after that. So we've got 87, 80. So 189 that will come out the Saturday after it's released. My review of that chapter. So there'll probably be that one, and then a few days after that it'll be chapter 190. So that's the schedule going forward. Because like I said, when chapter 189 comes out, I'm going to be away on my boat trip. So yeah, I'll be having my own family trip arc. So looking forward to that. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.